let's let's go from there. Okay, so first of all, Bitcoin. When we last did the stream, it was during that dump, right? And what was one of the things we said was happening? Many things were hitting that 1.618, right? This is what we were talking about last stream. I was saying if that 1.618 is held, then what are we looking for? We're looking for the next move up to go to B. We have taken out the B. All we need to do now is if you can flip that B into support, right? And let me just check I've shared my screen because I'm a bit. Um, have I actually shared my screen?
I can't see it.
Okay, I'm just stupid. Hang on. There. There we go. Can you guys see it now? I was talking without actually showing anything on the screen. I thought I'd started to share my screen. Right. This is what I'm talking about anyway, right? So the last time we streamed, we talked about how many things had hit that 1.618 extension, right? AVAX, Ondo, I can't even think off the top of my head. Many things had. Not Aptos. Aptos probably had, but there we go, right? AVAX was one of them, 1.618. Say, probably another one of them, right? I don't know why I've not got it on, but I'm sure this was a 1.618 if we take a look. Well, we can try and figure it out. If we do this, very close. It's not quite a 1.618 on in for Say. What about Sui? 1.618, right? So we looked at how many of these things had gone and done that, right? Had gone and hit the 1.618 extension. Not all of them, but many of them. And what we were saying basically was last time we were saying if you can go and you can hold that 1.618, right? Then you can think about getting that move higher, right, on across many of these coins. So Ondo held the macro 786, AVAX again 1.618 held the Deep Garly 886, held all levels we talked about, right? And now you flip these back into support. Not taken out the B point yet, which I want to see taken out. When you take that B point out, you've shifted your trend on the daily, right? You're good to go back higher. Aptos, not taking out the trend yet on the daily, but you take this out again, you're good to go back higher, right? So many of those 1.618s, and this is why I always try to explain in terms of wave structure first and foremost, right? We were saying if those 1.618s are respected, if the daily buyer zones that were created and all these sellers got trapped, we saw live that seller absorption was taking place, not at the random area, at your ABCD 2.24 raid, right? You raided what? All of the external liquidity. The raid was successful. Trap traders, right? We've got confirmation of aggressive sellers being caught offside. We cannot be surprised then that the results we're talking about, right? There was literally a few days ago we were saying, right? Let's see if we can take the B point out next. If we can't be surprised, we're getting that now, right? Because everything that we were talking about here happened, which is why we opened all those positions during that dump, right? And many people were scared here, which is why I was saying, do not be scared. Like, enter here, right? That's the thing, because all the liquidity had been raided. So now everything's again like on the move back up. So now as long as the B point is respected, these harmonics stay valid, right? If the B point is not respected, then it's going to look a bit more iffy. But as long as we do not take out that C point now, eventually we are going to be getting towards that 1.13 in my opinion, which is going to once again take us to new all-time highs on Bitcoin, 113,000, and probably exceed that, right? Because like we said, in terms of wave structure, if we do go for that blow off top scenario, which is what I'm hoping for, should we get a breakout here, I'm hoping for minimum 121,413. My target for now on the upper side for a blow off top would be 132,000, right? What's another thing we said? Another thing we said is, look, we haven't. This is why I said wait for the weekly and the 2 week close, right? I said if you can hold a higher time frame within this zone, then everything is fine. The daily rated, but what did you do? You went back and reclaimed a very important diagonal. Now you want to way back up. Right, you've got your trend line breakout. There you go. No matter how you draw the trend line, you're broken out of it. If you draw it like that, that's your breakout retest. So right now we're looking very, very good, right? Could this roll over? Of course. Like, every time you get a pump, people are like, what if it rolls over? Every time you get a dump, people are like, what if it reverses? No one wants to ever enter a position. Or this is why I always say all you can do is know where your significant levels are, know what kind of price action you're looking for, a risk managed entry. 3-step process, not overcomplicating it, right? You literally just do that mandate day in and day out, and you will pull the trigger when the time is right. That's it. And this is why I told you guys, even if you're scared to fully position yourself, at least have partial positions open. 40%, 50%, right? Because even if you use 20, 40, 40 at those lows, your risk was so tiny. You would have gone 40, 50% in minimum, right? Let's say even if you hadn't gone all in. And now it's going to be much easier for you to wait for the higher low to size up, wait for lower time frame, like the pullback into like maybe like a flip of resistance to the support to size up, so on and so forth. imagine you hadn't opened any positions down there and be streamed. You are now going to be scrambling for positions. But if you take a look at many of these, compared to where we were, let's say 18, you're already $2 up, right? So it's already going to be that much harder to manage your risks, because from here to here, you're already up now a solid 13%, right? Where you currently are, 12 to 13%. So your risk management is that much worse, let's say, that much harder to manage, right? So especially if you guys took any scalp to swing plays, right, with proper sizing, then you'll be up massively today. But yeah, just wanted to do this stream today just as an update, right? Because the last time we talked about it was when we did the bids. So now the question was, are the bids going to play out? Or are we going to go into the red for longer, right? And this is why right now I'm prioritizing spot and low leverage swings for our plays, because like I was saying, we're going to get some chop. We're going to get loads of chop. In fact, not some. We're going to get loads of chop before things really go off on the macro. That's very, very normal. That's to shake out leverage. Make sure everyone is shaken, roughed up as hard as they can be before we actually go up. So only the true, let's say, the true winners really have the bags ready to actually go up, right? And the shaking out period might not be over yet, right? It might not be over. But for now, the reactions are looking very, very good. They're looking very, very healthy. Okay. So BTC, they're up. Attempt to flip the B on the 4 hours, but if we could get some sort of daily breakout retest of that B point, that shark, in my opinion, the probability to get that shark goes up extremely high, right? Of course, you're looking for the 886 first, right? Which is going to be somewhere around here if you were looking for a lower high. But in my opinion, you probably go and raid, right? Because my opinion is blow off top. That's the whole reason I position the way I have. So higher we go, in my opinion. But yeah, we're very, very green. That's the main thing. We're very, very green on the portfolio. Right, so challenge account. Some of the plays we took, such as Apu, Farcoin, Ondo, AVAX, so on and so forth. All of these are up right nicely. Spot bags, Toncoin, so on and so forth. Right, these are up. Say, Sui. Right, this is why again another one we made. This is literally the setup I gave in that stream we did. Right, I said if you're gonna take a Sui long, this is it. ABCD 2.61 hit. Respected. 1.618 hit. Respected. You closed above the 2.618. Risk management could not have been easier. And now we pretty much hit that target. The target was basically, let's go to the B point first. If you can flip the B point, we go higher, right? But if you're taking that scalp to swing trade, which is what this was, Sui looks fantastic. And again, once you back above this, we know it's not going to be a surprise if we head up back towards here minimum, right? If you flip that, then the next target could very easily be back towards $4, rate high, so on and so forth, right? But yeah, so did you guys... Did you guys actually enter when we did the stream? I know a few of you did, because you've shared your P&Ls, you've shared your positions and stuff. But is anyone still like fully sidelined? Postponing dinner. Sorry, brother. Yeah, Rocky. I'm gonna record it. I'll put it on YouTube later. KFC cannot fucking chart. What's going on? LDO, yeah, exactly. Weekly bullish divergence on LDO as well. LDO is another one. Got a spot position in that. Just not touched it. Just holding that spot position. ICP, yeah. Pepe, AVAX, ENA. That's another one, yeah. Bro, Sweemon, I do not know what happened, yeah, because I woke up this morning. I remember putting, I've got a challenge meme account, right? And then I'm starting it from rags and trying to get it to reach us. And I put $60, I think, somewhere around $60 into Sweemon. Woke up this morning, shit was saying 1,200. I was like, what the f? Has this pumped that hard? Because I bought it like, as soon as it came out, basically, when he sent me that DM. Yeah, but this is some good stuff, right? Sui, Aptos. This one's very slow round. I'm not getting the reaction that other coins are getting, perhaps like Hype or Sui, so on and so forth. Not to be surprised though, right? Like I said, do not expect this cycle to be like 2021, where you think everything's gonna do random 10x's off the chart. You're not. We have to be very selective with what you put your money into, and that is why I only look at with you guys very few coins every single time. For like the past year now, we've literally only been looking at these coins, right? Aptos, AVAX, Say, Sui, so on and so forth. Ondo. I've not been looking at majority of the other coins, because for higher time frame plays, there is no point. Again, there's going to be people trying to flex 200 different positions on you, 100 different positions on you. What's the point? At the end of the day, it's not about how many positions you're in. It's about how much money have you made. That's the question, right? And if you can make your life easier by just taking sizable bets on a few ones that I think have the higher probability of catching big rotations, then why try to be in 200 different trades, so on and so forth, right? But yeah, Trump straight back up, beautiful. Another one we looked at, this one by the way, because I don't know why I've got it marked to the 1.57. This is another one that hit the 1.618. There we go. We looked at it the same night, right? Trump is another one, back above those lows. So yeah, this is just looking very, very nice, right? GMX, talking about this one, holding the mid still. This looks good. I'm in a GMX swing. I'm in an Arbitrum swing, right? We were talking about these levels. Smiley face achieved on ARB. We were literally talking about if this smiley face holds, I'm just gonna bid, right? And if you take a look, we had 4-hour, what we identified before. We had 4-hour tap of the Gartley 786. We had a lower low in price, high low in RSI. So we have 4-hour bullish divergence, right? And again, on low cap cryptos like this, that doesn't mean much, but it's still something, right? Still something. Still signs of strength coming in the face of aggressive selling at a key area. So not in ETHFI. We did say if you want to take ETHFI, as long as you're above the red box, you're fine. But for me, it's just I don't feel comfortable with this, right? I don't want to be in loads of different ETH betas either. Just ETH itself and then a few betas, so OP, LDO, ARB, GMX, so on and so forth. That's what I'm in. But yeah, here's LDO. Back above that macro bat 886. Hit the internal bad PRZs. We haven't tapped into these lows for now. OP. Respecting those lows, right? We're talking about Butterfly 1.414. Butterfly 1.272, all those key levels have been respected. The 0.94 diagonal also got respected. So yeah, many of these, pretty much everything that we entered is looking very, very good, right? Sweet, spots running crazy. So if I'm in spot of something, I'm not in a swing long. If I'm in a swing long of something, I'm not in a spot, right? When I'm managing this, there's no point in me being in a swing long and spot in my opinion. So my biggest conviction bags are in spot. And after that, it's like, you know, other ones like Farcoin, like, or the newer plays I took basically, they're more in the swing long fashion. So now that those swing longs are up, and this is why I'm told you guys to do isolated, like low leverage swings, right? So isolated 3x positions will be open. If you look at Farcoin, for example, so hang on, let me share my challenge account, for example, Farcoin as an example, right? I'll just put it into the chat. I'll share it with you guys since I was saying I'll share it within the actual server. So let me go to leverage and where is it here? Really, really nice move up on Farcoin. So this is the Farcoin this is the Farcoin position I have, right? This is for the challenge account, and the reason I've not gone all in yet, I do want a bit more size on Farcoin, but the reason I've not got all in yet myself is because here we go. Let me just copy. And then I'll just put it into the chat. For transparency, if I'm doing a challenge account with you guys, it makes sense for me to actually show the positions.
You may want to make a channel for it and just make it where we can't chat in it, where you can just share it there.
That's a good idea. I think I'll do that actually. Yeah. But that's the Farcoin position. I'll just put it in chat. I do want a bit more position size in this one, but for Farcoin, I'm waiting. Right, for my final size up for this is going to be if we get this or one or the other. Let me show you guys what I'm waiting for. It'll be, you guys know I love smiley faces, so if I see the potential chance for a smiley face to form, I will wait for size up triggers. Right, so you see the left where all the aggressive selling was taking place. We see our massive rate that just about front ran that 618. I had 1,000 extra on 3x, so I had 1,000 extra in position size basically limited here, and you can see it got front run, which is why I cancelled it. Right, so now if we can get this, right, go up, raid this maybe, and then come back down for one more just higher low, that'd be absolutely perfect price action. I hope we get this, right? Take out the late leverage longers, come down, smiley face accumulation. If we get that, that's where I'll re-add a final position size for Farcoin. Probably under the 1,500 or something like that in position size, and that'll be like Farcoin fully positioned basically, right? If not, we get a flip somewhere around here, right? Range flip. What I can do is, and the reason I say always start with the low leverage swings now is because I am risk free on that trade. Okay, meaning when I do my next position size up, I can slide the leverage meter up as much as I want. I'm probably going to take it to like maybe 10x maximum, right? The reason I can do this is because I've got that buffer zone. So since I've got that buffer zone, when I add that position size and slide the leverage up, I can put my stop loss to break even straight away. This is the same premise that I always give you guys, which is sizing up on a trade. Not just only DCing when price goes lows, but also learning to add on signs of strength itself, right? So that's going to be the final allocation for Farcoin. I'm going to do it either way. It's going to be on signs of strength, so just waiting. I'm not going to buy the actual green candle itself. If it goes without giving me either of those entries, that's completely fine. Whatever position I have, I'll just move it into something else, right? Maybe APU or something that hasn't really caught that rotation yet, just into anything else. There's always going to be another opportunity at this particular moment in time. Farcoin's the one that's in the lead right now, right? So if we get that smiley face, then for now, that's going to be the trigger for the final size up. Okay, and the biggest loser still right now is Housecoin. So the Housecoin trade is this. Ever's green, Ton is green, House is red, ARB is basically break even, TIA is basically break even, GMX is green, NIA is green, and FET is green. FET is old trade, and Trump is also green, PAL is also green. So let me show the biggest loser right now. The biggest loser is this, which is Housecoin. And when I say biggest loser, you guys might be thinking doom, when in reality, I might as well just say pretty much break even, right? Because once this, if of course this thing goes, then whatever loss we've realized on this is going to be absolutely nothing. So this is going to be, this is the Housecoin position size right now for the challenge account. So that minus 110 is when the hard stop loss I gave when I gave the original trade hit, right? Like I said, I only closed 50% of the trade when that stop loss got hit, just in case it was a liquidity grab. I was aware of that. So we re-entered on the stream, and ever since that re-entry, we're very close to break even with the average, right? Not got a full position size on Housecoin yet, but I'm not going to add when it's showing shaky signs over here. I just need a proper reclaim on Housecoin of that key level we were talking about earlier, or rather before, right? Which one is it on? Yeah, this one right here. If you get back above here, I will just resize that position size. If not, and we just can't seem to get above, then after that I'll just close it manually, right? It doesn't matter until we like go to our lower targets, basically.
Did you only enter this on leverage, or did you add spot as well for the
No,
challenge?
I've not got this on spot, only on swing long for Housecoin. For the challenge account, I don't have any spot Housecoin, brother. For spot,
Sounds good. Thank you.
I only put it into like just high conviction plays. There's no point putting spot in something I'm gonna cheat as soon as I see the first sign of weakness. So yeah, I'm not gonna put spot into Housecoin. But still, it's like even if we we go and we just cannot get above here, we go hit the supply line again, and we just show just more signs of just distribution happening like down over here, right? Then I'll just cut. So I'll keep an eye out for this one. It's quite ugly chart locally speaking, but of course on the macro we know how good this can be, right? We have the 786, we have the 786 up there. Of course we could get the deep Gartley 886, which is something I've not even drawn on yet. So let me so I'll leave that on. That's our old one, buy seller zones. Let's get rid of those. So here's the two Gartley 786s, right? However, what we can also do is mark out the 886s, the deep Gartleys. If we were to look for the deep Gartley, then we are talking about this right here, right? Which is a key level, which is where perhaps we go if we just buyers can't find any support here. If buyers can't find support here, then we are going to be going down to these levels. So that is deep Gartley 0.886, and is there a 1.57? How far away is the 1.618? Not that far, so I'll mark it down. So we have a nice PRZ over here already. Should we go deeper? Right, and then let me just Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. There we go. And then I'm gonna put this over here. Settings, Control V. Settings. This is your deep Gartley 1.618. Yeah, that's fine. I'll just. There we go. There we go. And of course we've also got it not just for this one, but for this one also, right? So if this one decides to give us the deep Gartley, in fact, has it hit yet? It's not. It's close to hitting, but just a tad bit lower is where the deep Gartley would be. Launchcoin never gave us our entries, which is sad, right? Because that's gave a nice move up, I believe. Deep Gartley 0.886, that's the internal, so let's make it yellow. And the 1.618 is just going to be slightly lower on this one, just like with the above. The 1.618 is going to be somewhere over here, Okay, so pretty much over here, right? So I'm not gonna bother marking that down. But if we cannot reclaim and go, we cannot be surprised if these targets get hit next, right? It wouldn't be, again, it'd be nice, you know, retest of this support, so the context is there. So if we go up and we see weakness, right, we cannot break above, it's no problem, right? We'll cut at appropriately should we need to, and we'll just wait for either just strength reclaim to re-enter, or we'll wait for those lower levels to actually get triggered. So that's that. I've not got that long left for this stream. Okay, so let's look at things real quick. Anything else I want to go over? ICP, a nice move off the lows, crazy reaction. We cannot be surprised. How we talked about how on ICP we were at those exact lows, right? Very nice PRZ for ICP. We can't be surprised. We had a butterfly, we had the shark, we had the levels being hit, the PRZ being validated, and now we're on our move up. Right. So ICP looking good, right? So many of these coins that we went over, basically, guys, right? They look very good, right? And many of the trades that I've given in the past, not this one, because this one wasn't our original entries down over here. Aero, right? I'm still holding this, right? This one we entered literally down at those when I first gave it, right? Cow, still in this, not take. We're still in the green. Fed, massively in the green from the PRZ, right? Akash, still in the green because we talked about it down over here, right? These are just now random areas I was looking at, trying to see is there a nice trade opportunity. But the actual entry we did was right over there, right? Linked. I gave this literally at that 886, right? This one's nice. CRV, let's not even mention this. This one we talked about for so long at this, right? These are all plays I've got on my main account, right? Not on the challenge account. I'm going to be sharing the challenge account here. But smiley face, right? So CRV is looking good, going up. Nia, right? That the godly levels we were talking about, the butterfly 1.272, sorry, that's respected, right? The smiley face we were talking about for now has hit. So if this holds again, Nia can explode, right? We've got Pepe. I think we've talked about this at some point. Yeah, Pepe, massively high, right? Look, we literally went to that butterfly, 1.272, 1.414 to 2.24. So the butterfly areas we went, we're bouncing off it, right? Harmonics are so powerful. And we even talked about how if this does happen to be the low, then we could get a potential move up towards that bat, the bearish bat, for example, 886, right? Polka dots, still within the area. Not interested in, not really. Actually, hang on. That doesn't look half bad locally speaking, does it? One sec. No, it surely does not. If anyone wants to try for a not play, it's going to be like this. There, if anyone wants to try and swing not, you could do this. In fact, this could run in the sense that should it ever go and reclaim this as support, then you're talking about the actual wave structure being back in question, right? And then you'd be looking at moves up towards here, T1, T2, so on and so forth. But just even a simple range play, if you wanted to do this or do something like this, that's possible or not, depending on if you want to account for historical deviation, or do you want just a super tight stop loss. It's 12 to 21% stop loss, basically. Either way, your trade is minimum 3 RR. ME, I just don't care. Farcoin, like we talked about, insane strength. MKR, who remembers this one, right? Because this one we entered when the bat completed, and that bat completed. If we see this one, there. Our entry on this is that bat 0.886, 2.618, right? This is where we started talking about MKR. ETH beta, this one will do really well in my opinion. So yeah, MKR looks good. Yeah, so pretty much everything we've talked about right now are massively in the green, right? The entry trigger for Metis was never met because you didn't get any strength when we got to the shark areas, right? Even at the 1.272, we didn't really get any strength. Did we get to 1.414? No, we didn't. But now, locally speaking, you know, Metis, again, if you wanted to, what you can do here is you can do this, there's your buyer zone. As long as you are above this buyer zone, you have a really nice swing area for Metis, right? Something like this. Again, if you wanted to like try for a low leverage isolated trade, go for it, right? You at least it's an area where you can see very key support resistance from history. Very key support resistance from history, right? I could do this and go current cycle, this and current cycle, Here is a weekly buy zone. You're above that. That very key weekly buy zone from history. You're above it. As long as you're above that, you're good for higher on Metis from this range. You have range lows. You're reclaiming range lows, in fact. Are you reclaiming range lows with the wave structure? Because that looks good. It looks really good. I can't lie. Why? Indeed you are. There is your Gartley, right? That's a Gartley right there. So you've got a completed Gartley on Metis. So super, super easy to manage. If you want to keep it super tight, you'll just do stop loss below some a key level, something like this, right? But if you wanted to isolate it, swing it, I'll do something like this, right? It's a bit wider so you don't get chopped out. But yeah, Metis is another one you can try and take a right now. If you wanted to, you could open this, right? And you don't have to go with my stop loss. You might look at this chart yourself, decide you want a tighter stop loss, in which case there's loads of other key levels. For example, you could close this trade as soon as it turns 2020 to 12-month macro read seller zone low, 1613 into support, into resistance, sorry. You're going to turn that into resistance. You can close this way before you hit for 21%, right? So this is just a hard stop loss, but your price action is telling you seeing weakness here. You can more actively manage your trade if you want to. The option is there. I'm not going to tell you how you should baby your trades. That's completely up to what makes you comfortable. But opportunities are there. Metis looks good, looks very, very good. I'm not even joking. Falling wedge, Gartley, smiley face. That's a cumulative structure at the lows, macro wave structure completion at the end of the day. So this looks really, really good. Metis, if you wanted to, easy swing right there. Okay. So there's a few extra plays for you guys. But yeah, GMX. If this flips, this thing's gonna sand, right? Above that 886, 2022 is the key line in the sand. We get above this, GMX is going. But yeah, so many things, many things massively in the green, right? And I'll update the channel as we go. I've not even shared the spot positions yet, but I'll only share those ones with really in profits, right? But yeah, let's see how far we can get this challenge account, right? So 21k position size total. And if I add anything to that, like outside of profits, if I actually add external liquidity to increase my position size, then I'll let you guys know. But for now, it's a 21k. And it's mixed between, like, you know, spot and isolated swing longs, right? But just wanted to do this quick update today in case you guys were just so you guys are informed, really, right? Like I said, weekly close is really good. That's the key thing that I said watch for. 2 week and a weekly, right? Look at that 2 week close on BTC, not even Farcoin. Let's go to BTC. Look at that 2 week close on BTC. Again, where's the diagonals? Is it here? Yeah. Look at that 2 week close, right? You close the VAR both your black and your white in this case, right? There's your 2 week buyer seller zone tweeted as support. So why would it not go higher, right? Now, of course, it might struggle, it might get some more chop. I'm not saying the chop is over. We don't know for sure, but what we do have is signs that the liquidity has been raided. We've broken out, right? Above the B point of the potential bearish harmonic. As long as you stay above that, resistance is going to be higher now. That's it. Right? Hence why everything's popping off basically. Now, one more thing that I do want to do is I'm going to also start along with the challenge account for crypto. I've got a £7,000 challenge account for spot for stocks as well. Okay, I'm going to start a stocks one too on the side. I'm not going to be as active on that right for now, but then there's a couple of stocks. One that Ponzi was sharing. I saw him share it. I had to look it up because the chart looked really interesting. One called a Lemonade. This one looks really good. Right, got in at the open today. This one's up really nicely. The chart for this looks insane. Again, I didn't know what this was until I saw Ponzi. He's in the server. I saw Ponzi share it on his Twitter. Hang on, where is it? I'll go to stock. So I have to look it up. But yeah, Lemonade looks really good. Right up the B point of that potential like shark. So yeah, this thing could definitely go higher. I don't know what it is again, but I saw the accumulation. I saw it look good. So yeah, I just had to get some spots in with this. Right, the credit for this goes to Ponzi. It's not like I found the stock or anything. I saw his trade idea on, not trade idea. I saw him share it on Twitter, and then I looked at it, saw it looked good. So I've entered this morning when New York opened basically. And the other one I really want long term, I think could do absolute numbers, is NIO. Okay, NIO. This thing is down 95% from all-time highs. There is no way Tesla's going to be the only company that has more mind share when it comes to EV, so on and so forth. Okay, if I show you guys NIO, right? NIO looks absolutely fantastic. Okay, so first and foremost, what do we have? Let's just do this bit by bit. Okay, first of all, we have this. Okay, we had a potential bat, never played out, but again, the ratio is like 618 on the retracement, 0.5, right? So it's good ratios. Should we ever reclaim this, this bat would still be valid, basically. Okay. After this, what do we have? Well, we have this. We have a 886 to a 2.0, right? Meaning we have hit a deep crab, went past the normal deep crab level, and then we went into the hop of the deep crab, right? Which is currently resistance. So again, if we get above this, Neo can run. Last but not least, what is the one that's currently in play? We have crab 618, literally perfect ratios, right? There's your 618, there's your 786, 1.618 right over there on the extension, just above your 3.0. There is Neo. You're struggling underneath the 1.618 of the crab right now, but literally, if you want to buy spot, you just do it here. Or if you want to wait just wait until you close above 3.79 if you want to get in a bit safer. Completely up to you. But if we take the targets from, let's say, this high to this low, right? Just the 382, your type 1 reaction can take you up, if this is the low eventually, about 2x on a stock. That's insane, right? And if you ever get above that, then 618 just for this is going to be 332. And by the time you get here, you probably already gone into the actual, let's say, territory of these harmonics, and then you pull out the targets for these, so on and so forth, to get your future targets, so on and so forth, right? But Neo is one I really like the look of in terms of risk to reward. I gave you guys Alibaba, right? When I say you guys, it wasn't strictly in the server, but in Unity, in my YouTube video, so on and so forth. Alibaba did numbers, right? I think Chinese stocks can do very, very well. I think Neo can do very, very well. Neo looks really, really good, in my opinion. So just wanted to share that as well. Fixed range volume profile, yeah, brother. It's absolute killer killer tool. Stop loss. Let me see. Oh, I got 2 minutes. I'll reply with that in chat. Just send that message in crypto chat and ping me, bro. And then I'll get back to you on that. I need to end this stream. It's a spot play for me, but my weakness, if I would cut literally if the B point of the harmonics lost, I'll just get rid of it then, in my opinion, because I don't want to be holding on to this below there. Because for example, you could do this, right? I could do that, come down, like, you know, fill some inefficiencies and then go back up or something like this. So I'd rather just cut early in this. In the case we do go and turn the B point back into resistance, that's just showing for now that buys aren't ready to get above this yet. So I'd get below that, but all the credit for this goes to Ponzi, right? He's the one who shared the chart, and I thought it looked absolutely fantastic, which is why I jumped in as well. But yeah, Sweemon, bro, yeah, absolutely ran. I was like, holy shit, come on, man. Yeah. I'm not gonna my meme challenge account isn't like official, right? I'm not gonna call anything I do in there. I'm not a confident meme caller. Okay, that's why, like, I put like 0.001% of my net worth in memes, especially if you're talking like in the trenches. Like, hell no, I'm just not risking it, right? So don't expect any proper meme calls from me. There's way better people to follow if you want to do memes. But yeah, if it's actual TA on like more established coins, if he has wave structure, anything like this, key levels, then I'm your man. I've got your back. But yeah, that's something I just wanted to go over real quick. Okay, so guys, I'm going to end this stream here. Very, very sweet today. Don't want to take up too much of your time, but there's not much to say here. Like, we're positioned now. We're not scrambling for entries. We're just gonna wait and see, right? Can we carry this bullish momentum up? Like I said, don't. What was I saying? I was saying, do not be surprised if by the end of the month we're at new highs for Bitcoin, right? We look like we're on our way to do that now. So let's see if my words ring true or not, right? But yeah, just wanted to do a quick stream to update you guys. And yeah, I think it's a good channel. It's a good idea. Like my bro said, I'm gonna open up a separate channel for the challenge account, and I'll just post any plays and stuff I do, like the actual account updates in there, so we can view that as a journal, right? When I get around to it. But yeah, this week's gonna be very busy for me, guys. So one-on-ones might be a bit sketchy this week. I'm gonna be traveling. I need to go back in Brighton. Need to go to Aldershot. We've got this Gurkha ceremony we need to go to. Since my family's Gurkhas, we need to be in there. Also, I need to do something for my granddad. It's been a certain amount of time since he passed away, so we have to do some prayers, some rituals, so on and so forth. So I need to do that as well. And therefore this week's gonna be very, very sketchy for one-on-ones, right? But next week I should be able to fit them in more easily than I can this week. But yeah, I'll talk to everyone about down DMs anyway. But yeah, guys, hopefully you guys are excited, man. Honestly, bro, if you've caught the lows here, right? If you've caught the lows, we can make a shit ton of money. I'm not even saying years down the line. I'm talking like months down the line, right? We could be up way higher than people think. If we get a blow off top scenario, if we get a choppy ass summer, then obviously it's gonna be what it is. We can't predict that. All we can do is manage risk at key areas, like I keep saying, right? And people write paragraphs upon paragraphs on Twitter or on Discord talking about this and that, but won't give you any entries. That's the opposite here. But all we've done is talk about entries and talk about a couple of theses. That's it, right? The key thing is, can you show your entries, and can you call them beforehand, which is what we've done here, right? All the entries were called way beforehand. Theses were talked about way beforehand, so you guys could actually execute on that rather than just be left there scratching your heads, wondering what the hell this guy talking about. Okay, so right, I'll stop this recording here. I'll